Good morning, people. He is legal consultant, managing partner in MIO legal firm, a second-generation lawyer, born and raised in UAE, a professional, active lawyer, and very active person in social media indeed. Very creative business developer, and presents law and legal issues in a simple, digestible, fun, and simple, lovely way to the people, and people love it. He has a lot of followers. You can check it out. So, Ahmed, good morning. How are you today?
Hey Daniel, I'm doing fantastic. How about yourself?
I'm great, and it's good to have you here on Monday Talks. And let us first think about introducing Ahmed. Who's Ahmed Odeh? If you can brief it, I know it's difficult, but you've done a lot. So good luck with that.
Okay, who am I, right?
Yeah.
Uh, I'd like to call myself a contrarian. Wasn't the brightest peach, you know what I mean? I was the guy that always tried to come up with ways to simplify things and not to do everything by the book, basically, which is funny
Let
because
me no, let me disagree here. Like, you're not the smartest guy. I fully disagree with you. It's not like you are doing by the book is what smart is. It's like how you come up with something brilliant, which is you're doing. Sorry to
I
stop
think
you there. Okay.
thank you. So my father and my mom, they came down to the UAE in 1975. So I was born and raised, went to school and university here, and then I did my law school in the UK as well. But what I've come to realize is that after 17 years of practice, that I actually don't want to be your typical lawyer. I don't want to be that guy that just comes in, gives legal advice, and leaves, and that's all. Even though we have a second generation family business, I want to do more than that. I want to be accessible. I want to be the kind of guy into your hands, because that, I believe, should be the purpose of every single lawyer. Although the industry, expects otherwise, right? The industry shows that lawyers, they keep all their cards close to their chest, and they won't give you legal advice unless you pay for it, and they'll
Yeah.
only give you this much, and they'll ask you to rely on them. But for me, I don't subscribe to that. I believe that everybody should take the law into their own hands. The law is not for lawyers, it is for everybody.
I don't want to go into the definition of those terms of legal things, of civil, criminal dispute resolution, blah, blah. I don't understand anything of it. But I have a curious question. Like, every lawyer has a specific specialty, but
Yeah.
never faced a lawyer who said, no, I don't understand this, or I cannot reply to this question. Like, is it like each lawyer knows everything related to law?
Interesting. In this part of the world, as a lawyer, you are expected to know a bit of everything, at least be a jack of all trades, right? In this part of the
Mm.
world. But in the Middle East, even in the sort of Eastern Southeast Asia. However, in the US, in the Western world, every lawyer has to specify his area of specialization, whatever it may be, right?
Okay.
Bank,
Okay.
military, can be real estate, whatever.
So, going through this story of yours, what was the biggest challenge you had to overcome to reach where you are now? And what's your next one?
So, so this is the interesting bit. So the fact that actually, when I started under the founder, the guy who sort of ran the entire business, and he micromanaged everything from A to Z. And working with him was nothing short of a nightmare. He was those TV shows that you watch, like Suits. You
Yeah.
watch all these Boston Legal and stuff. There's always a sort of that evil lawyer or that difficult lawyer.
Exactly.
That was my dad. My dad was that guy, right? So I realized having to work with him, it was very difficult, right? Especially being a son, both in a good way and a bad way. He's tough in a good way, in a bad way. But working with him and being under him, making mistakes with him, winning cases, whatever it could be, that was the most difficult and I don't see I don't think it was an enjoyable period in my life. Like I don't wish what I went through that anybody could go through it, because it was definitely a traumatic experience.
But you learned a
Going
lot.
from Yes, going from graduating law school until becoming, is what essentially right now a second generation owner is. It was definitely the worst, most difficult period of my life. It's nothing that I wish on anybody. Was actually being in the profession and actually becoming a second generation owner. So starting off from graduating law school all the way until becoming until actually taking up the mantle of being a second generation owner, it was definitely the most difficult, because that uphill climb, getting to understand the ropes of how it is to run a legal practice and managing lawyers that are much smarter than you, much better
Mm,
than you, been around longer than you have, right? And
mm,
convincing them, lead them, that you could persuade them into, and that your management and your leadership is going to get them better rewards is not easy, right? Because that's what you're doing essentially. So getting managing a firm of what, 90, 100 people right now,
wow.
it's not
Yeah.
it's
But let
challenging,
me
but
let me just
yeah.
add, so mention one thing here that is one of a lot of things that I admire about you, Ahmed. Uh, you have a very exciting yet very interesting character. My mindset about lawyers is like those people who are in suits and 100% serious, and they count the letters of the words you're saying. And when you talk, you have to count really what you're standing for. But with you, I feel like I am talking to a friend, very close friend who can I trust for any issue to discuss legal, may I face, or any difficulty in life. How did you manage to flip the minds and change the rigid image of the lawyer? I call this creativity. Oh, I don't know about you.
Good. Yeah, the answer is twofold. One is the fact that, a lawyer has always been given, historically, has always been made to be assertive, maybe slightly arrogant,
Hmm.
right? Intimidated, and so that they can make anyone believe their words, right? And make
Yeah,
anyone believe just of their status or where they're, their degree and all that stuff, that their opinion matters more than anybody else, because it should not be challenged. And that in of
yeah.
itself, as you know, is a very dangerous trait to have in
Challenging,
today's,
challenging a
you know.
lawyer could be having a very, very serious consequences. So
Yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly. So
we keep
uh,
silent.
you take everything what a lawyer says for face value, and because
Mm,
by virtue of their character. And I didn't like that, because I was always the kind of guy that I was afraid to even speak in meetings, and because I wasn't sure that what I was saying was right. And
mm,
then I realized, okay, over the past 17 years, I've noticed some common trends and themes and things that your day-to-day issues that everybody has and goes through, right? All the clients go through day-to-day contract issues, rental disputes, labor disputes. It can be, whatever. It can be something as getting a divorce or, inheritance.
mm.
It's sort of, expands. And I understand that, these small issues are the ones that people are actually seek, and 80% of the advice that people ask for is actually not legal, it's commercial. It's a
Oh,
client coming to me now telling me, listen, I know what I need to do. Let's say I have an outstanding payment, somebody owes me money, I know what I need to do, but I'm scared to pull the trigger.
mm,
Ahmed, tell me, what should I do? It's not legal advice. Most of it isn't. If I read between the lines, I they call that sort of ability to make their own decisions. Focus
mm,
more on that, right? Instead of throwing out articles of the law. Oh, this article says you got to do this, and this article says you got to do that. There's no emotional attachment to these things, right? It's more
mm.
about the cognitive ability to make decisions,
But
and it's what
still,
people.
even if it's commercial, like I feel comfortable when I have this advice from a lawyer. Either it is legal or commercial, it's helping me a lot.
Yeah. Do you know something
So,
that
tell me.
I've sorry to cut you out, but one thing I've started doing recently a lot. I start acting as if I'm the client.
Ah, okay, interesting.
So I posted a video recently on TikTok, which blew up in a matter of 3 days. Absolutely gone
Coming to
crazy. Like,
TikTok, how did you come up
yeah.
with this brilliant idea to demonstrate many legal cases in a very creative way, making those amazing videos? How did this come up to your mind?
Um, okay. Two things. One, I had a lot of content that I wanted to provide, wanted to give out to people, and I had sort of an idea of how I wanted to do it through sketches and like sort of me being the client and me being also the lawyer and sort of switching sides, right?
Mm.
And I thought that would go viral, which it did. And the second bit is
And
I
it
saw other
did.
lawyers.
It did, indeed, it did. You're not just a successful lawyer, you're now on your way to be a big influencer. And actually, you are now. A lot of people are following you. So
Yeah.
I know the time is limited, but let me just like have one exclusive thing. If you have something to share for Monday Talks that you did not announce yet, what's your next move? Next move?
I'm going on YouTube. So I'm
Oh,
going to, yeah. I'm not just going on YouTube. I'm going to be addressing uh, day-to-day corporate issues that everybody goes through and no one else talks about, right? Because the way I
nice.
look at it is Dubai is an advertising. Dubai is just one large advertising campaign. That's what it is. Everyone is just advertising in Dubai, right? And no one's
Yeah.
really reviewing what's going on. No one.
It's different. It's different when it's legal. You know, you speak in on behalf, like any question and related to legal is very highly engaging, I believe, because
Yes.
all of us in the business world, we have those questions and we have those wonders in minds, and we are afraid to approach any lawyer because I will pay a fortune. But if it's there, why not?
Exactly. So going on YouTube is basically me providing more value. I'm also going to be doing LinkedIn Live webinars as well. So, I don't know where I read this, but I realized that as a professional, the more value that you give, the more likely it is that people are going to come to you because they'll figure out very quickly that they can't exactly sort of navigate the law without any help. Even though the more you give them, the less they will understand in a sense, you know.
You know, I always target 10 minutes, but with you, I'm just like overtime. But anyway, let's have one last thing. You want to
Yeah.
address it to the people. You have the mic, which is, by the way, not the mic that is not working. You just moved. So,
Yeah.
what do you like to say?
Um, Take the law into your own hands. It is not scary. It is made for you. If you don't use the law to your advantage, if you don't take ownership of your rights, other people will take ownership of it and use it against you,
Wow.
right? They'll take advantage of you. So that's basically what I say. Stop relying on other people, stop relying on lawyers or anyone else or your friends or family, or someone better that knows the law better. Do it yourself. Read up on the law yourself and gain, you know, sort of
Read
ownership of your.
more, teach yourself, learn. It's always like that. It was
Yeah.
lovely having you here, and we are all way exceeded the time, but I enjoyed every second of it and would love to listen more and meet you next time as well. So,
Definitely, Daniel.
on behalf of people here, thank you very much, Ahmed, for being with us, and all of us, thank you very much for being here. Follow us and watch this complete episode on YouTube channel, Monday Talks. See you.
Bye.